I welcome you all to our Certified DevOps Engineer Live Free Training Program. This is our roadmap, and according to it, we have successfully completed day 1 to day 7, and we are going through with day 8 monitoring and visualization. What we will cover today. So far, we have covered in day 8, part 1 and part 2. And today we are going to start with part 3, step by step, Prometheus and Grafana installation on Linux. So before we jump in, let me give you a quick overview of what we will cover today. Here is our agenda. So we will start with the basic installation steps for Prometheus to make sure we are aligned technically. All the steps are already available in a GitHub repository we have shared, so feel free to follow along as we go. Next, we will take a quick tour of Prometheus built-in dashboard. Then we will explore the configuration settings and understand the prometheus.yaml file, which is a configuration file, by the way. Once that's in place, we will level up the setup to make it production ready. After that, we will install and configure Node Exporter. Then we will deploy Grafana and we will connect it with the Prometheus. Finally, we will conclude the session by creating dashboard in Grafana we can visualize and act on in real time. Let's dive right in with our first topic, installation process. So in order to download, visit this website, prometheus.io. Okay, here we have an option, downloads. Click on this to download, or there is an additional option also available on top of the on the site, download. So whichever option is convenient to you, click on that, and both the option will get you to this page. Here you could see there are multiple options. If you don't see anything, but so simply come over here. There is an option of operating system. Click on this. There you will find all as well as the popular. Today our focus is on Linux. So when we little bit scroll down, or when we scroll down, or whatever you're looking for, right? So I'm looking for Linux, so I have selected the Linux, and after that, so here we have two options. One is this 2.53 and the 3.4. If you want, or if you wish to install for LTS, go with this one. For this session, I'm going to use greatest and latest, or latest and greatest 3.4.1 version. And so I will click on this, okay, or simply you click on this option and your download will get started. Okay, once your download is completed, then come back to this screen or switch to the terminal where it's get downloaded. Okay, alternatively, if you do not have browser, so you could also, or you are on terminal, you could simply use this command. This is already available in the description of this video. After, so you could also, you could use wget as well as you could use the curl in order to download this version. Okay, so whatever is the location, so in my case, what I have done, I have created one folder already, Prometheus. Okay, and in that I have executed this command, and after that here I have downloaded two versions. So basically here if you see, I have downloaded ARM, and using this command, or if your architecture of the system is different, and how you could check this when we switch to the hands-on part, I will show you how you could check the architecture of the, or which version you should go for. Okay, so I have downloaded both AMD 64 and as well as the ARM 64. Okay, so ARM 64, because my setup is on, I'm using Mac, and my virtual machine, the version, the Ubuntu operating system which I'm using, it's a ARM, so that is supported. So that's why I'm using this one. In your case, if you are using Intel or AMD processor, go ahead and use this one. Okay, steps are same. When we switch to the terminal hands-on part, I will show you all the steps are already documented, so we will go and see the step by step later. Okay, so once you have downloaded this, then you have to extract it. Okay, and to extract this, you have this command. Okay, if you want to see all the verbose output, okay, what are the contents of the directory, so use this tar. Okay, here tar xvfz. Okay, and you will see this kind of output. Alternatively, which I prefer, this one tar xf, and the Prometheus, this tar file. Okay, like this, and both does the same job. So whatever is you convenient, this is my preference, I follow this one. Okay, after that, go into the directory cd prometheus 3.4.1 linux arm. In case if you are amd, so you know respectively directory you have to enter. And all this concept we already learned in our day one linux for the DevOps part, right? So nothing special over here to explain you. If you want to refresh your concept, feel free. And here when we list the content of these directory, we saw the Prometheus and the prompt tool. Okay, prompt tool is command line tool, and here is the Prometheus, and we know this is the executable file. Okay, in order to start our server, so first of all, when you extract, the installation is complete. Congratulations, very simple, right? And in order to start the server, you have to execute the command like this. Okay, dot slash prometheus. And of course we discussed this in linux day one. Okay, we know when we have a script, so this is the way to start it. So what happened when we start the server first time? So you will be end up with something like this kind of log, okay, on the screen itself. So in this logs, what are the important information for us? So of course, this is here, these logs provide you very valuable information, as well as many of your interview questions answers are over here. So if you see over here, the default retention period, its duration is 15 days. Okay, so it's completely default. We didn't set any of the we didn't make any custom configuration, right? So that's why it's showing the duration and the default. So this is first interview question: what is the default duration of the Prometheus data storage? Okay, which is 15 days. Here you could also say starting Prometheus server, and here is the version, right? Branch head, these are more related to Git or their release, right? And here it's start listening for connection, and connection web address like this, and 9090. So it is listening on all the interfaces, and this is the port which is used by the Prometheus. So it is another interview question, which port by default it works or it listens on. So 9090. And here you could see starting tsdb. So in part 2, when we talk about the architecture and the component, right? So first what it has done, so it's like it has started like this. Okay, starting listening for connections, and then starting the database. tsdb stands as database, right? And here there is one more option, WL, so which is write ahead logs. Okay, we'll come on this later. It's really amazing feature. Okay, then finally it says tsdb started and loading configuration file. So file name is prometheus.yaml, all the configuration, okay, which is we or whatever configuration we make over here, prometheus.yaml. Then after all these things, loading configuration file, right? So that's why after starting the database, it go ahead and go ahead and load the configuration file, and accordingly it finds everything is fine. Then your service is ready to receive the web request. Okay, so this is the basic flow. Make yourself familiar with this if you are starting your career, maybe or not, maybe this is the interview question. Okay, what is the flow, right? What happened when, or what happened when you start Prometheus? Just play around it, and some of the things which I just thought to share with you, I have shared over here. And now you see our server is ready to receive the web request. So in order to access the server, right, so we know the port, and now we know how we can access this. So simple, on the same local host 9090, and we could see the Prometheus server is up and running. Let's run some of the basic things or basic queries when we start. Okay, so very first thing we would like to, this is the number one sanity check after installation. This is the one of the metric. Okay, we will see it again when we switch to the hands-on part, just to give you a understanding, or just to give the feel once you start how it looks like. Okay, so here I just entered up and execute, and you probably not see this output. So click on this, there is option tree view, select that one, and you will be able to see that. Okay, and here's the table, and here we got some of the information like this. Okay, up, so we just put one metric up, but we got many other information. So all from where all these informations are coming in. So these are from the configuration file. We are coming on that shortly. Okay, and here the important thing, when you see 1 here, it means your Prometheus server is up and running. Okay, or target is reachable and responding. So at the moment we have only 1, so that's why it's showing only this one. Okay, we will go ahead, and when we configure node exporter, we will see more information over here. Okay, so this tells you the Prometheus is scrapping itself and it's up and running. Next, we could also see the Prometheus build information. So these are just basic, I would say, the queries which I'm running over here. But why? So just you know how to use this, just to make you familiar with this. Okay, we will also later part we will execute over here more complex as well, but just we are starting. So let's go step by step slowly, right? So Prometheus build information, and we know we are using 3.4.1. so it is mentioned somewhere over here. Version is this one, instance is localhost 9090, job is Prometheus. You could also see the Go language, and architecture is ARM64. If you are on MD, you will see like this, and app, and yeah, there are so many levels over here. Okay, so information, I would say. Okay, and it is also showing like 1. Okay, so let's explore next one. Next one is Prometheus TSDP head series. Okay, when you execute this one, so at the moment when I execute this one, so I only got this one 720 or 720. Okay, so this shows the number of active time series currently being tracked in memory, and in this case, okay, Prometheus is maintaining 720 series. The more exporter or target we add, the higher this number will grow. Okay, we will come on that and we will see. I just removed the time. Okay, if you go back over here, there was a time, right? So when I removed that time, I got more other as well, more times. Okay, 908. And I wanted to confirm it, so I just access via the API, and we know we talk in architecture part 2. Okay, we can also have option to access the time series, right, using the API. So we can access or we can visualize the data using the Grafana, as well as in HTTP UI of the Prometheus, or we can also access the data via the API. So I just execute this command, right? This one is so when you execute this one, okay, you will get all the time series available, and I just put a len. So this is I executed over here, and I got 908, just to confirm, okay, what is happening. These are already the skull commands are already available in the description if you want to execute. Okay, feel free to do that. So that's it on the basic installation part. So now we have installed it. Let's take a tour of the Prometheus default inbuilt dashboard and execute these queries over there. So for that, we'll switch back to the terminal. Okay, so here I'm already in this Prometheus directory, and as I said, I already downloaded and installed it. I mean, not down, I mean, already downloaded and extracted. So this is the directory. I will go over here, Prometheus, this one. Okay, so again, I have the same content, right? So I will go ahead and do like this, Prometheus. My server is started, very simple. And in order to access the your virtual machine on your guest machine, right? So this is the simple command ssh-p. So I'm using the net interface, that's why I have did the port forwarding. I have already shown all these steps before. Okay, and here what I'm doing, 9090 localhost, and I'm forwarding it to the over here, and this is my username, and I'm accessing it as a like this. So I'll put it like this. So we have started. In your case, if you install a virtual machine and you're using the host only or not host only bridge adapter, okay, in that case you don't need to perform this step. Okay, in my case I'm using net adapter, that's what I'm doing it. And now I'll come over here and I say localhost 9090, and my Prometheus is available on this page. Let me make it like this. I like a dark theme, so that's why. So here, if you see, first let's explore the option. Right here we have a query, so by default we come over here, then we have alerts. So when we click on this, so at the moment we do not have any of the alerts. Then here we have a status, and in this status we have many options, and very first things like target health. So if you see, it's showing this one down, right? So because this was the configured I was trusting. Okay, so we will enable this. How we can, when we install the node exporter, okay, we will make it enable. We will troubleshoot it later. So for now, in your case, you will be seeing only this option. Okay, and it's here you could see the labels. These are the labels, and it says up. Okay, next option here we have the rules health. So at the moment we did not set any of the rules. Okay, we also have service discovery. So by default you could see the, I mean, of course it's showing like this node exporter, and but in your case you will find only Prometheus. We will see that later on for the service discovery. Okay, when we go in the next part for the containerization and the Kubernetes, we will explore this more option. Here you could find the service discovery root thing. Here you can find the runtime, okay, and the build information. So whatever options we were checking before, okay, the same options are available over here. Here you could see the home directory. So here the working directory, I would say, or home directory, no harm to say like this. Okay, and yeah, most of the options are pretty much explanatory, so no need to explain it more. But here you could find and TSDB status. Okay, so here you could see 8398399 and number of label pairs and all this informations which you could see or which you could find over here. Okay, this is about the time TSDB status. That command line flag like this, you could use it. And here we also have the option configuration. Okay, so if we could see in the configuration, right, this is the configuration. We are coming on that and we will understand what is this about. Okay, and additionally one more thing, alert discovery. So we haven't set up any of the things, so that's why it's like this. So let's go ahead and see the query. So very first thing is the up, and you could see when we type something we have lots of metrics available. Okay, and when I hit enter, right, so you could see, and I was talking about like show here in this option. Okay, when you click on this three dots, okay, here is option show tree view. When you click like this, and you got like the output something over here like this, up result 2, okay, and instances 2, and one is at 9090, which is the Prometheus server itself, and jobs are like this. So yeah, node exporter which is down, which is not connected, that's fine, we will troubleshoot it, we will fix it later on. App is 1. Okay, and here I mean, here we go, you could see the 1. So when I explained before, it 1 it means it's up and running, and 0 it means it's a down and it's not being scrapped by the Prometheus itself. Okay, this is about the dashboard. Now let's go ahead and see the configuration file. Okay, so what I would do, let me first of all close it, and here we have one file. Let me do like this. So for that, let me open VS Code. Okay, new file, text file, then present it over here. Okay, let's click like this and let's make a little bigger. So this file is over here, prometheus.yaml. Okay, and you could see this job name is already over here. That's why the configuration. But let's see this, instead of showing the file over here, let me show you in the over here. So in file configuration, let me make a little bit smooth. Okay, so first, global configuration. So here this is the default file. Okay, I did not make any of the changes. just copy it from over here. So let me walk you through with the options available in this. Okay, so first we have a global configuration, and these are also comment over here. So whatever configuration we done or we make over here, this apply to rest of the all instances, all the targets. Okay, so here it's a 15-second evaluation interval is 15 seconds. It is also meant given the description about it. Okay, scrap timeout is set to the global default is like this. And here we have a alert manager configuration. So alerting static config target, and alert manager listens default port on 9093. So far we don't have any alert manager, or we haven't set any of the things yet in this configuration, right? But we will do that later on. And here we have a rule. So first rule, second rule, all the rules are stored in the same configuration file with the YAML. Okay, so at the moment these are commented out. And we have a script config. Okay, so this is the important thing where we have to, or we are going to do the things. Okay, so here is the job name. So when we see this one, right, up, right, so this is the job name Prometheus, so it has come from here, Prometheus. Okay, then here we have a static config, right, and a static config. Here we have a target. If I go over here, so you could see the instance is localhost 9090, and that's why this value is coming from. Okay, then we have labels, app, and the Prometheus. And if I go over here, so this is the label, okay, app, Prometheus. And similarly, this is for our node exporter as well. Okay, and here the job name is Linux node exporter. So I just put a name so we can recognize from where. So job is like this, job name. Okay, static configuration like this. And here I did not put any of the labels. Okay, that's why here I don't have any. But in monitoring, labels are really important. Okay, like in Kubernetes, you can or have the instance or target. We will explore it more when we talk about the dynamic the service discovery part. Okay, so this is about the default, or I would say the configuration file. Okay, here we have a global alerting rules here, but most of the time we go ahead and play with this option, scrap config. Okay, so job name we will do it later on more. Okay, so this is just the start to give you the idea how it looks like. Okay, so let's come back or switch back to the terminal, and we already stopped server. Right now, let me come over here in this directory. Fine. So now we will see how we can install. So for example, like this one. Okay, yes, sorry, Prometheus and dot. So okay, it's a good way when you're starting, right? But in production, you really don't always go to the system, right? This is not the, I would say, the ideal way to do when you have to, or when you have a use case where when you have to monitor, or when you are deploying it in your production system, right? So for learning to getting started, this is a good way, and I will recommend to go ahead and use this way, because it provides a lot of information. So when this information will pass through from your eyes, every time you will get familiar yourself. Okay, but this is not the thing we do ideally. So what we do, so let me go here and show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we will install, right, Prometheus as a service on the system. So service, it means, so like I say sudo systemctl. Okay, status Prometheus. Okay, and I provide the password, and it says unit prometheus.service could not be found. Okay, because in order to start and stop, so like when I was running the Prometheus like this, so my terminal is occupied, right? What if I have to log out from the server and switch back to another server? So in that case I have to close it. But so that's why I wanted to run it as a service, as a daemon in so in Linux term it is called daemon, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And all this stuff, okay, let me show you where these are. So when you come on this repository, click on this Linux installation part, and here you could see 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, all the steps are already over here. So I'm using ARM, and how we check which uname dash m, so which architecture type, or which is the file, or which is the Grafana, no, so not Grafana, the Prometheus version I have, or architecture based, or which Prometheus I should use. Okay, so simply execute this command. This will give you the output. Okay, what architecture or what. So by this, okay, based on this, you have to select the appropriate binaries. Okay, so in my case, I'm using ARM, so I will go with this one. But in case if you are, if, and I believe this is the most widely used case. Okay, so in that case, what you could do, this AMD. Okay, these are the straps already provided over here. Okay, go ahead and copy, paste, and follow along. Okay, and if you have any questions, let me know. I will help you out with that. Okay, so for me, I'm click on this one. You just let me show you. Okay, step 1 2 3 4. Okay, and I'm out of, or I would say I'm in the parent folder, Linux installation. Okay, where I have gone, what I have done, I was on this page. Okay, this repository is already linked in the description. Go ahead if you wish to use it, or feel free to fork it. So Linux installation, okay, here, because I'm on ARM. Okay, so what I will do, let me go like this. Okay, all the steps are created already for you. So simply what I have to do, I have to copy and paste. So in this, let me do like this. Okay, so what I'm doing, creating Prometheus user in the directory. I've just copy paste. Then I'm gonna download and extract the Prometheus. Okay, so basically what we have done. So now we are doing it via this command. Okay, later on I will also add a shell script for you. So I have not tested those yet. Okay, let me clear the screen. So I will test those scripts and put it over here so you can install, as well as you can use if you want to. So for example, if you're testing, so you can install it, and I will also create a script for deleting entire setup. So you can do the practice as long as you want. So we have moved it in sudo local user bin, and all these steps are done. Then in next step, okay, so let me quickly check what happened over here. ls-lrt, and okay, Prometheus consoles. Okay, consoles, it is a Prometheus. Okay, so everything is over here. Our Prometheus is in this directory. Let me quickly check. First, let me clear the screen. ls-lrt. Okay, so here we go. Okay, and now our Prometheus is already there. Now, in order to, okay, so now we have to create a system service. Okay, so create system service file. So I'm using Vim. If you want, or if you're familiar, or if you're very used to with Nano, use that editor. Okay, I use this, copy this file over here. Okay, so it's space the following. I have already done it. So you could see the description: Prometheus monitoring, wants network online target. After this one, here is the user and the group. Okay, simple. And here you could see the location, config file, storage, and all these things. Okay, very simple. All this concept we already talked in our Linux part, Devon. So now our service file is ready, and so I'm gonna or I would say, don't copy all this. Okay, copy this one by one. So sudo system daemon reload, we will just reload all the services, and now I will check the, there is this service. Okay, so Prometheus. So before we were getting like yeah, unit Prometheus. Okay, service could not be found, but now we system can find, and it says Prometheus monitoring and all these things, it's inactive, right, or dead. So what we will do, of course, okay, just I wanted to show you, but this time sudo systemctl start prometheus.service. Okay, so I have started. Let me little bit increase the font. Yes, that's enough. So we started, and now I'm gonna status, and status is it's active. Okay, and here we could also see the sum of the logs. Right now, our Prometheus server is up and running. Let me go back over here. Let me create a tunnel again. Okay, it's done, and now let's see if we can see the Prometheus. Okay, so now over here, so very first thing, of course, I will execute. So I will execute the up command, execute, and this time I can see only one. Okay, over here you could see in this corner. Okay, before it here we got the two option, but now this time in output we have only one, right? And if we go to the target health, so now you could check. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, so here before we had two, okay, and now this time we have only one target, and which is 9090. And additionally I would also like to show you. Okay, I have opened all this. Okay, so not Prometheus, let me change local host. And if you see over here, okay, so this is very common question. Okay, what matrix Prometheus expose? Okay, so here if you see all the hash, these are the information about the matrix which are exposed by the Prometheus. So at the moment we do not have any target, so Prometheus is exposing itself, okay, over here. And if you see, so just go ahead and take a time and read about it, and whatever is relevant to you, so you can get the information of that metric from over here. So yes, let me see if we have something. Directly we go to, I think it's there are so many, right? So just take a time. So all the metrics you could see are available over here. Okay, anyways, I wanted to show you. So here you could find all the metrics. Okay, let me close this one, and here we go. Okay, this time if I come over here, so it's status again, and here the service discovery, right? So I have to go like this, no worries. So you could see these are the default. Okay, schema, http, and interval 15-second, timeout 10 seconds, app is like this. So these are the levels by which the service discovery happen. Okay, and these are the target levels, right? And additionally, if we go with the configuration, so here you could see the configuration, right? And here in this part especially, okay, we have only the target one, and which is Prometheus itself, right? And for example, if I want to see the Prometheus, so when you type something, it started giving you, or I would say the metrics are popped up over here. Okay, so you could see like this. So for example, like the build information we were talking about. Okay, when I click, not click, select that, and so we have again the same. And I was also interested in time series. Prometheus underscore time series tsdb. Okay, yeah, here we go. So head series we were talking about. Let's see, time tsdb underscore head. So we have a lot of things over here, and we are interested in this one. Let's execute. So at the moment we have 812. We will visit it again, but when we add a more target into this are gonna be increased. Okay, so this is about the installing the Prometheus itself. Okay, So at this moment, if you see this dashboard, right, it's very basic. Okay, and we also already saw the configuration file. Okay, and according to this one, okay, here, and we know, okay, all the configuration, and that's why we have moved the prometheus.yaml file into etc prometheus slash etc prometheus directory. Okay, so if I go back, okay, this is our prometheus file, configuration file. Okay, so we will edit this later on, but before that we will install a node exporter, okay, to see more information here, right? So for that, in the same directory, Linux installation, I will go to this file number 2, node exporter, Linux ARM64. In your case, you have a file number 2, AMD. Okay, just copy paste this one, straps, okay, the same one, and you will be good. So let me go ahead, and in this, of course, the same, we will create a dedicated user for that. So I will copy it over here, and after that I will download and install, okay, the node exporter like this. So this will also available, okay, on the same page where you have downloaded the Prometheus. Okay, on the same page node exporters are also available. So this is for Linux, right? And then we will install the binaries. So let me clear the screen. So we are moving node exporter to user local bin, then we are changing the ownership. Okay, very simple, the Linux things which we already discussed. Now we have to create a service. So here I'm just put a nano, right? So I'm for you. So what I'm going to do, sudo vim and like this. Okay, and if you are good with the nano, use, otherwise use this one. Okay, so everything is same, right, except we have changed this one and the description also. So node exporter group, which we created in step 1, which is now over here. So this time I'm gonna copy all these steps, loading the daemon, starting the node exporter, then enabling it, so when it's restart, automatically node exporter will come. Okay, and when you execute this command, so this output is because of, I mean, this, you could see the symbling, right, because of this one, right? So it has not started, so I will check, I want to check it now, it's a status. Sudo systemctl, sorry, systemctl status, and sudo systemctl status, and we want to node exporter service. So it's up and running, right? So now if we go back over here in the target help, but it is not coming up. So we know what we have to do. So we have to add this node exporter like this in the configuration file. So what we will do over here, clear the screen, cd/etc prometheus. Okay, I go over here. Here we have this file prometheus.yaml. Okay, so I open this prometheus.yaml. Okay, so in this we have to mention the information about our exporter, right? So Prometheus can scrap the matrix, and we could see in node exporter. So I will press Shift G and G and O. Okay, so that will, I will directly come at the end of the line. Then what I have to do, I have to simply put the same name like this. Okay, and it says job underscore name, and job name should be Linux dash VM. Okay, and after that I have static config, so I could say static underscore config. Okay, and it is like this, the static configs. Okay, it could be many, so at the moment we have only one. I say dash and target and s. Okay, so put like this, and I copy paste this string our port is 9100, 910 and 0. So here we go, we have put it. So you could see scrap configs, it's a Prometheus. So I mean, this is for of course Prometheus itself, but here we are adding the node exporter, and node exporter name is Linux VM, right? So let me save this. I think you know, I forgot to mention something. Let me see if I'm allowed. Okay. Okay, so I forgot to mention sudo, and that's why I'm over here. So let's see, copy paste it again as a sudo, and we know why it is. Let me know why it is this. Okay, let me tell you, because the ownership of this directory is not with this user, so that's why we have to use sudo. We discuss about the permission in day one, Linux for DevOps, right? Exactly. So we will restart sudo systemctl and restart Prometheus service. Okay, and now check the status. Okay, so my Prometheus is running. Okay, configuration is already there, and let's go ahead and see target health. Boom. And this time we could see the scrap, the seconds. Okay, 8 milliseconds, and state is up, and unknown. Okay, so 9100 matrix. Okay, this is up and running. So on this, and here you could see the labels. Okay, so we did not put any of the labels, so only we found this two: job label, Linux VM. Okay, and if you see this name, okay, which is the similar what we have put over here, Linux VM. Okay, so this is the job name, this is the configuration, and if you have more, okay, so this is just a common name. Okay, you could put more details, or if you have more targets, you can mention over here as well. Okay, so it's up and it's running, but it's showing Prometheus, it's not scrapping itself. Okay, so let's give it some time, refresh it. Yeah, so now Prometheus is also scrapping itself. Okay, and if we go back over here, and if we run the query up, and here we go, and now we have both the values here, 1 and 1. Okay, we could also see on the graph. Okay, if you want to make something like this, or maybe something like this, so we do not have much data at the moment. Okay, so that's why we are not able to see much details. You could also see the graph something like this. Okay, maybe 1 minute is too much. So this is the way by which we can see. Okay, but of course that's very basic, right? We are not able to see much information over here. So what we will do now, we will install the Grafana and integrate the Grafana with the Prometheus. Okay, so for that, again I will come back over here, and if you see, for the Linux installation you have 1 and 2 steps inside for AMD, but for Grafana is the same. Okay, so I'm gonna follow step 3, the file 3, Grafana installation via apt repository. So simple, and again it's the same Linux concept we have been following, or we have been doing it several times. Okay, so no big deal. So simple copy paste, we are adding the repository. Yes, I want to do that. Then add the Grafana repository over here. Okay, all the instructions are already there. If you want to learn more about, go ahead and check out our day 1 Linux for DevOps, where we, I think 7 or 9 hours of the content only for the Linux related stuff. So we have updated, and after that we are going to install this step. We are going to fire this one, then I will do this. Okay, Grafana is going to be installed. It's unpacking. Yep, it's done. and after that, yeah, we start and we enable. So that's okay. Let me clear the screen first. Let me copy. Okay, it's done. And now, in order to access, so as I say, if you're on GUI system, if you have installed desktop version, right, so use this. I'm using the server version. Okay, and yeah, in day one part 2 we did very detailed discuss about how we can install the, or how we can create the virtual machine. Okay, so yeah, if you want to do, check out that one. So here, with the same command, what I'm gonna do, so let me copy paste over here, and if you see, the port is 3000, right? So what I will do, 3000 localhost 3000, and I'll just copy this as is, and done. Okay, so this time, go ahead, local host and 3000, of course, right? So here, if you see the steps, here is also to mention the same username is admin, password is also admin. Okay, so admin and login. If you want to change, and it's recommended to change, I'm skipping it at the moment, it's completely fine. And here we go. Here is the Grafana. Our Grafana is installed. We are able to access the Grafana like this. Now we have to integrate the Grafana with the Prometheus. That is very simple. Okay. Okay. So for that, here we already have another document or next step. Okay, all the steps are mentioned how you can integrate Grafana, okay, or connect Grafana to the Prometheus. So open this one. You could see we have already logged in. Okay, here there is option connection, add new connection, search for Prometheus, and blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, of course it's my blah blah blah, so it's fine. So simply, basically what happened here, we have this option over here, connection. Okay, when we click on this, here you could see the add new connections. Okay, and we want to connect the, for us the connection or data source is the Prometheus. We want to integrate, and if you see now, time, it has a lot of data source, you can connect it over here. Okay, there are plenty. When I started, these were not over there, but now there are so many. Okay, so whatever you want to visualize, you can connect it over here, or simple, I will, but we are interested at the moment in Prometheus. So we could see like this, alert manager installed, and this one, Prometheus. Okay, and it says is already installed. So let me add data source, and so it's installed. Select on this, then we have to provide this one. So this step is already mentioned in over here. Okay, what you have to put, Prometheus server URL. Let me put it over here, and name whatever name you want to give it. Okay, rest leave it as is. Save and test. You should be able to see the message something like this. If you see this message, okay, successfully queried the Prometheus API. So building the dashboard and all other options. Okay, it means it's successfully connected. Save and test. Okay, so now what we can do, so our data source is successfully connected. Here we have the dashboard option. Okay, so either these are the default one you can import. Okay, let me import all to show you how it looks like, and If I click on this, so you could see the uptime 8.2 minutes. Okay, and for the target scrap intervals, we could see the scrap is, we could also see like this last 5 minutes, right? If I go back on dashboard 2.0 stat, you could see the sample appended, scope duration, memory profile, right? Everything is over here. Very easy, very simple. And we could also see like this, but at the moment we do not have any data available, right? So this is the one of the kind of dashboard. Another way is to, so we want to see the, I mean, this is about the Prometheus, but we want to see about the node exporter metrics, right? So for that, what we can do, simple, either like if you want to create a custom dashboard, right? So what you can do, new, simple, add a visualizer, this one, and here this is the option. So I'm just showing you. Okay, maybe we will see, or we'll talk more in detail later. Okay, but just to how you could do the default one. So here is, you could see the query up. Here you could select the label. So of course we have three levels, right? App, instance, and job, like this, and select the value. So in app we have Prometheus value, and you could see the query over here. And when I run the query, you could see the time series is showing something like this. Okay, or here these are the available charts. Okay, so you could maybe see, if you want to see something like this, you could go ahead and do that. Okay, you could select the chart. Okay, state, so it gives you the value, because of course we wanted to see the value. So one, it means yeah, it's up and running, right? And here, so this is the way, okay, by which we can create and save the dashboard and access and share with the teammates or other. We will do that later on. Okay, so let's come back and focus on the see the node exporter. So let me discard it. So there is another way in order to create a dashboard for our node exporter. So there is an option in import. Okay, so there is a very popular dashboard available, okay, from the Grafana itself on the website. Okay, so it is 1860, which I use, right? And it's really very popular. So you have to just put a number. I will show you how I find this, or how you could find the number. Okay, and then click on import, and boom, you could see how beautiful is this. Okay, all the metrics are visible in very good format regarding your node exporter. You could see on this screen. Okay, so for example, pressure, right? CPU busy, system load, RAM used, okay, swap, and root file system. CPU number of CPU root file system is 195 GB. Okay, so here it's not applicable. RAM is 4 GB. Of course, I have assigned 4 GB of RAM. Uptime is 1 hour. Okay, and swap is total 4 GB. And if I come over here, okay, I have more information. Maybe refresh it 5 seconds and go ahead. Okay, very good. Now you could see the Grafana dashboard, and the information which are available over here are far, I mean, more better. I mean, it's showing the more information because we have just changed the time. Okay, and you could see the CPU, memory, network traffic, disk space used. Okay, and here is as well disk IOPS, how many it's there, throughput is there, file system used, all information. There's so many metrics. Okay, this is the 12 panels. You could see here you have 4 panels, you have 6 panels, and so on and so forth. So there are so much information available on this dashboard. Okay, so that's how this dashboard looks like. Okay, all right, so we have created, I mean, our Prometheus server is up and running. Here we could see the target, right? We could see the service discovery details, TSDB status, and you could see the number of count of series has got, I mean, this got increased now 1474, right? So see this value, go to the Grafana and check what happened. Okay, I have also given all the commands in the description. The repository is also there for you, right? All the steps are available, right? And I also put create your first dashboard panel. If you want to go ahead, if you want to explore, go ahead and do that. But I save this for later. We will go ahead and do it more details later for upcoming parts. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what do we have next. So for that we switch back to, yep, our presentation. Okay, so next, yep, conclusion and what next. So in this session we have seen the basic installation type, right? How we extract it, then we run, and we understand about the dashboard, how the basic UI, the Grafana inbuilt dashboard looks like. And I believe you realize the Grafana dashboard is far better. And but I would say the Prometheus was not meant to visualization, it's for the matrix collection. Okay, and that's where it shines. Then we also understand about the Prometheus YAML file, right? Then we also install, right? We install Node Exporter, Grafana deployment, we integrated that, and we created a very beautiful dashboard as well. So that's what we learn in this. In next part, that is part 4, we will do the installation in, or we will containerize our Prometheus Grafana deployment, okay, using the Docker. So we will not only deploy, we will also see how we can monitor the container, okay, and we will learn how service discovery works with the Prometheus in next part 4. Okay, and that will be next week. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, okay, feel free to drop them in comment. If you have any thought or any feedback, if you would like to provide, please provide that in the comment section. Okay, or if you want to write us email, this is our email ID. And if this session was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to our channel, consider supporting us by subscribing to our channel. Thank you very much for watching and learning. See you next week with part 4. Until then, bye bye.